Welcome to Force for Growth Live. I'm Ricardo.
I'm
Hi,
Courtney,
Michelle.
and that's
I,
Michelle. Happy Friday.
we're together today.
We are. We'll figure it out in a
We're
second.
so in sync.
But more importantly, be sure to go on Facebook and Instagram and follow at Force for Growth because we're all set up on there. So a like, a share, a follow is much appreciated. And happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
What we got going on?
Man, I am so excited today. We haven't done this in a minute. It's been a little while since we've done this. We call this the infamous Force for Growth lightning round. How does this work? For all of you watching and listening, I pick a random word that Courtney and Michelle do not know what this word is. And we all have these words for each other. We don't know what it is, but we're going to throw the word out and then we're going to spiel on it for 30 seconds to a minute. That's the way this works. And the surprise here is that we don't know what the word is. Ooh, it could be anything.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. We don't know. They don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming. We don't know what's going. So it's just chock full fun of laughs. And for our live viewers, feel free to throw out a word and we'll chew on it too. So
Yep.
if you have a word and when you want to participate, just type it in the comments and let us know. Here we go. All right, Courtney, I got a
We're
word for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You look nervous.
This could go so many directions.
You should
Ready.
be nervous. You should be scared.
It's going to be stubborn. No,
No, I got it. Here you go. Ready?
ready.
Chaos.
Oh, beautiful chaos. Okay, so what goes on in my brain a lot? Chaos. Yeah, it's all around us, but you have to figure out how to find a still place in the chaos. Like that's the secret. That's the ticket because that will help you understand what chaos you need to respond to and fix, what chaos you need to ignore and walk away from, what chaos has nothing to do with you, what has everything to do with you. But you have got to figure out how to be a machine in the chaos because it's not going to stop. We live in 2021. I don't think we're going to get less uh, visual, thousands of things coming at us today. I don't think it's going to slow down. So, chaos, learn to function in the chaos. But especially, I'm big on crisis rehearsal in your brain, really go through what could go wrong. Don't dwell on it, just prepare the thoughts so that if it happens, you've thought through that before and you're ready because when chaos happens, you aren't at 100% of your skills. You're nervous, you're scared, you're anxious. And so you just need to nip it in the bud. And if you practice it before, it will come more natural because it's something you're not thinking of it in the moment and having to solve it in the moment. So just play around with that. But that doesn't mean dwell on the bad things. I mean, prepare and get back to gratitude.
Nice.
So, okay. Are we ready?
Go.
I'm going to throw one at Michelle. Okay, so Michelle, my word for you is discern.
Okay.
Discern.
One of my favorite words because it's one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned in my life through one of the hardest times of my life. I learned discernment and I love that word and I love to talk about it. So, perfect word for me. Um, discernment to me is, or discern is to determine what's right for you. And to me, you can feel discernment. So, deep down inside, listen to your gut. I call it the Holy Spirit. To me, that's my gut. It's talking to me, telling me, go this way, don't go that way, do this, don't do that. But discernment is determining whether you're on the right path, whether you're around the right people, which was a huge one for me. That's to me is probably the biggest discernment lesson I've learned is the people that you surround yourself with. And it, um, I just posted this the other day. Tony Robbins says, the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the expectations of your peer group. And using discernment when you let people into your world and let people influence you is huge because it has a direct impact on the quality of your life. And I just feel like with discernment, you feel it, you just have to listen and then you have to obey. You have to pay attention and you have to act on that, on the feeling of, am I on the right path? Am I around the right people? And so, yeah, that's what I think about discernment
I
or
love that.
discern.
Thank you,
Boom.
Michelle. Yes. Okay. All right, Michelle, what do you got for Ricardo?
Okay.
Hot
You
seat
ready?
hot for him.
I'm ready.
Ubiquitous. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Spell it first.
What?
Just kidding.
I'm gonna need the definition for that word.
Actually, it's a great word. I did have to look it up, but it's present, appearing, or found everywhere. But that's not the word I have for you.
Oh,
I just
okay.
wanted to throw you for a loop.
Well, yeah. You threw me for a loop. I was like, I feel like I'm at a
We
spelling
should
bee.
limit how many syllables are in it. Yeah.
Spell it.
Ubiquitous.
Okay. Steadfast is my word for you.
Steadfast. Like steadfast and steady.
Yeah. Resolute, unwavering.
Ooh, man. That unwavering. That steadfast unwavering. What are you willing to give up to fit in with somebody else? Or what are you willing to give up for someone to like you or love you? Mm, that's something to think about. Are you steadfast in your beliefs and your values? Are you steadfast on your mindset and your goals? If you have a goal and something happens and someone tries to throw you off of that goal, do you allow yourself to be thrown off easily? Or do you say, hold on a second, I'm working on this right now, but I'll get back to you later? How focused are you? How focused are you? I don't use steadfast that much, so I hope I'm talking about steadfast.
Yeah, you are.
I don't use that word in my vocabulary. Maybe I should start using that word.
Yeah.
It's a good word. It's a strong word. I like
It's a
it.
very strong word. It feels powerful. Words have power. But if you're working on a goal, are you able to put every distraction outside that could possibly happen in your life to stay focused and centered and work on that goal? Or do you let every little thing distract you and throw you off track? If everything distracts you and throws you off track, how committed are you really to that goal? It sounds to me like you might not be that committed if every single little distraction throws you off track. If you're really truly committed to a goal, I believe that you have to be focused and present with that goal, whatever it is that you're working on to get to that achievement, to create that thing, to manifest that thing. And every little distraction shouldn't throw you off and throw you off course from reaching that goal. Otherwise, maybe it's time for you to take a look at that goal. Steadfast.
Bingo. I like that.
Awesome.
All right, Courtney. Ryan says irresistible. Go.
Okay, irresistible. Oh, you got to figure out how. Okay, irresistible. I need a second on that. Okay, that came fast. So yeah, that satiating hunger and drive that just, I mean, passion. I mean, this is your whole core. You got to find whatever that is. You got to find what is irresistible to you. And I believe the things you are naturally good at and born with, and the skills that come easy, and just the things that make you weird to other people, those are all signs and things that are in the area where you're meant to do something. So somebody posted something and it was phrased really beautifully, but it's like God needed something to be done. That's why they created you. And I was like, man, okay. So I forget how it was raised, and it was very profound. But basically, like, there's something you have no one else has. What are you doing with it? So I'm not saying go after, you don't have to change the world. You don't have to but like, what are you doing for yourself, for your family in this life? And how are you truly contributing to your legacy? And I think what you becomes irresistible to you, and what you find and go through your life that you just can't I mean this in the positive way. You can't stay away from it. Follow that, like go with that, figure that out, find out more, and it might lead you to something. So it's like a breadcrumb trail. So whatever lights you up naturally, follow it. And to me, that's what irresistible means. And I ate a lot of candy yesterday, so I want to make a candy joke because like my mouth is salivating right now. But yeah, just so you got to find that candy in life. You got to find that thing. But like also, gossip can be irresistible. Judgment can be irresistible, and you can fall trap to those. So you got to be on the positive side of the scale, and you control that needle. So don't let yourself get scooped up into the reality show side of life and looking at life in this comparison way. Stop it. But do follow the happy, irresistible things that just light your soul on fire. That's, I mean, life's short, you guys. Like, what are you saving it for? You're alive today. Beautiful today.
Courtney, the candy metaphor that came to mind, find that center, that sweet center in that Tootsie Roll Pop of
Yes.
life.
Yes. It might take a lot of licks, y'all. A lot.
A
But
lot.
Yeah.
it's in there. It's in there.
You'll get there. You'll get there eventually. All
Mhm.
right, let's see. Michelle, Ryan threw out contender.
Ooh.
Okay, great word. Last year, my word of the year was warrior, which I think is very similar to the word contender. But when I think of contender, it's someone who like contends for something that they want. They're willing to stand firm, steadfast. They're willing to fight for what they want, and not just not just fight for it, but actually daily action, even in the mundane parts of life. You know, sometimes when we're shooting for a goal, there's something we're trying to manifest in our life. Some of the steps to get there are not fun. They're, they might be boring. They might be, I can't think of a word, but when you can, if you are willing to contend for what you want, nothing's going to stop you. That to me is what a contender is someone who won't stop until they get there.
Nice. I like that. Man, Jesse and Ryan are throwing out a ton of
Man,
words, so I'm just
they
gonna pick
are.
one here. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick one. I'm gonna go with excellence. Man, excellence has been on my mind lately. Excellence has been on my mind, so I'm glad that word came up because it gives me a minute to share my thoughts about excellence. I think excellence has been underrated. Excellence has gotten a bad reputation because of its mean, bad cousin, perfection. Excellence is not perfection. Two totally different things. They might be distant cousins, but they're not close by any means. Maybe they see each other once every 5 to 10 years at Thanksgiving, and that's about it. They barely know about each other, and they definitely don't know what each other is about. So don't get them confused. Excellence has nothing to do with perfection, and perfection has absolutely nothing to do with excellence.
I'd say it has more to do with procrastination than excellence.
Yeah, perfection is like related to all these other words that we're not going to mention right now, but perfection is never achievable. You can do everything in your life with excellence. Everything. But it doesn't have to be perfect because excellence is on you. It's like, okay, am I willing to commit to do this the best way that I can possibly can and not allow myself to be held back by the thought that it has to be perfect? Excellence.
That's a good one.
Excellence. Go for excellence. Don't just settle for mediocre. Don't just do it. Don't just be like, okay, I'm just going to do it to do it, or it's just something that I do. No, I'm going to go do that with excellence. I'm going to make it an excellent product. I'm going to make it an excellent experience for somebody. Go above and beyond. Go the extra mile to make it excellent.
Yes.
That's what excellence is. Going the extra mile, above and beyond the mediocre.
hmm
Whew.
Okay. I'm going to take confidence because, okay, so thank you, John, for mentioning confidence. And this is such a big, oh my gosh, it's just what holds so many people back. But so few people know the actual formula to build confidence. So, just like many things in life, if you can break down the formula and reverse engineer it, it gets a lot more simple. So, basically, confidence and self-esteem is first built or broken with if you honor the word you keep to yourself. So, example, that's literally like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to work out at 5 a.m. And then when that alarm goes off tomorrow and you don't do it, you just got docked one more notch down on your inner confidence. Okay. Because your self knows you're not going to do it. So, next time you're like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m. and work out, your ego is going to be like, no, you're not. You never do what you say. And it's going to start the self bashing. And then you can fall trap to that. So that's where you destroy your confidence in a downward spiral. Well, let's flip it. You can spiral it back up too, right? So it's as simple as, Michelle, it was profound whenever you shared that with me, that it's how far are we from our next better decision, from your next better decision. So every meal you eat is a little healthier than the last one. Every glass of water you drank, great. Did you drink more water today than yesterday? So you just keep these little promises to yourself, and those become bigger promises and bigger promises. And then, one day you'll be sitting there and an opportunity will drop in front of your face. It's something huge. It might involve you leaving your job for another one, or, meeting someone you never thought you'd get in a relationship with. I don't know. So something big, and you'll have built all these little confidences up that you can say yes to the big one. Okay. So that's where I want you to get. It's a muscle, it's a skill, it's built up and it's destroyed the same way everything else is. You practice it or you don't. So it's just, don't worry if you already have your entire lifetime of evidence to tell you why you won't do something. So start proving that little voice wrong. Okay. Because that little voice is only really there to keep you comfortable and safe. Okay. The ego, the mind only has two jobs. Will it kill me? Does this fit a pattern I've seen before? So even if it's completely unrelated, if it has one trait that similar to a past situation, your ego's like, oh, remember when this happened when you tried that? So it will literally distort and what is it? The three: distort,
Distort, delete, and
delete.
generalize.
Yep. And change your own memories about yourself to meet you staying safe, comfortable in your box right now instead of stepping out of your comfort zone. So you got to break through that. You have to break through that. It's a requirement to be happy in life.
Yeah.
Nice.
Confidence.
Bam.
Good
Mic
job.
drop. I'm going to take integrity, John's other word that he threw out there. Thank you, John. Good words. And I wanted to point
Integrity.
out that we had like several I words thrown out here in a row. And it's interesting to me because they all start with the letter I, which means they all start with us, with me. You know what? That's kind of what I took from that. So
Oh,
there's
That's
imagination,
a big one.
improve, integrity, inspiration. All of those start with me. But integrity, to me, I want to talk about that word because I think it's so important. And we think of the word integrity in terms of other people, like are they integrous? Are they honest? Are they, true? And sometimes we need to think about having integrity with ourselves because I think sometimes that we just kind of piggybacking off of what you were talking about, Courtney, we lie to ourselves a lot. We don't keep promises to ourselves. And integrity is keeping promises to yourself. Would you lie to someone else? Would you, keep up if you make a promise to someone else? Wouldn't you keep that if you've made that promise to them? We're so less likely to keep promises to ourselves. And so, integrity, I think, is a word that we need to reflect on personally toward ourselves. We don't need to just have integrity with other people. We need to have that with ourselves. We need to be truthful with ourselves because we can't get to where we want to go. We can't solve the problems that we need to solve if we're not truthful and honest with ourselves about what's really the underlying cause or source of what's going on there. And so when we can be integrous with ourselves, it opens up a whole new world of solutions and
mm.
Be
possibilities.
integrous with yourself.
Okay. So Michelle's word of integrity brought something up for me. She said you have to be honest and truthful with yourself. That's number one. And I'm gonna add on to that and say you have to be honest and truthful with other people. Here's the thing: if you're not honest and truthful with other people, but you're thinking about their failures or where they can improve, that's a judgment.
Mhm.
And if you don't want to judge, the only way to not judge is to call them up, text them up, and say, hey, I see something that I think you could improve on. Is it okay if I give you some advice? Now, if they take it or don't take it, if they don't want the feedback, that's okay. You can drop it. You did your part. You don't have to go any further. But if they say, yes, please give me that feedback.
You see what my next word was for you, Ricardo?
Feedback.
Yeah.
But if they say, okay, yes, please give me that feedback, then you can share that and it's no longer a judgment. Those thoughts that you have about that other person are no longer of judgment if you offer feedback.
It's coming from love, not separation.
Correct. So be
Yeah.
honest with yourself, have integrity with yourself, but also Be honest with other people. Don't be scared to give someone feedback. Otherwise, you get into the rut of judgment. Now, there's obviously case by case basis. Maybe you don't know that person that well. Maybe you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Well, in that case, let go of the judgment.
Yeah.
But if you feel comfortable enough and close enough, call them, text them, Facebook message them, and say, hey, I got some feedback for you. I think this might be helpful for you. And is it okay if I share my feedback?
I think that's key is asking for permission.
You got to ask for permission.
Yeah.
It primes their brain. If you say, "Are you open to the feedback?" Their brain's literally like, "Okay, we're about to
Yeah.
give feedback. Be ready." It's
Yep.
open. Whereas if you just throw it at them, of course they're going to be defensive. You
I
just
have
threw
another
something
word. I have another word for unsolicited feedback. It sucks.
at them. Yeah.
No one likes unsolicited feedback.
Mm-mm.
I
No.
don't. Do you, Courtney?
No.
Do you,
Well,
Michelle?
No.
No one likes unsolicited. But if you say, "Hey, I got some feedback for you. I saw something, and I think this might help you. It might help you improve whatever it is that you're working on. It might help you improve your as a person, as your relationship, whatever it is." Ask for permission and offer some feedback. And if they take it, great. And if they don't, you can just let it go because you did your part.
yeah.
A good way to ask it, that I use often is, can I make a suggestion?
Hmm.
Or are you open to suggestions?
Yes. Jesse asked, so saying the word feedback would help with that issue. I think so.
Mhm.
Hey, I got some feedback for you.
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion? I noticed something. Is it okay if I share it? Boom.
Yeah. Or just
Wow.
I've phrased it to some people like, "Hey, this doesn't really show how great you are in this area. Like you're not really elaborate." So you can do it in a way that shows them like, "Hey, I know you're great right here. You're not really showing that." And I don't know, whatever personality, I'm talking more MLM and kind of people being their own brand when I say that. But you can do it in a positive way where you fill them up and encourage them. And I mean, it takes practice. It takes, genuine connections with people to figure it out and to learn.
Yeah.
So stop the judgment.
Good episode, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome
words.
Friday lightning round. Good words. Thank you for everyone that tuned in live and chimed in on the words. If you want to catch us live, you can visit our Facebook page or our YouTube page. And for more information, you can go to forceforgrowth.com or at Force for Growth on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Wow.
You did all that in one breath.
That was one breathful, man. Woo. I don't know. I should have let Courtney do it. That's why I let you do that because it's stressful, but it
You
felt
did beautiful.
necessary to mention that we are live. That's why we're called Force for Growth Live, because we stream live and all of the feedback that we read on the show is live.
Yes.
So join the show. Tune in on Facebook or YouTube and
Yeah.
follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Have a great day, everybody, and we'll be back on
Monday.
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 Yes.
See you
Have a
guys
great
then.
weekend.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.